Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to Home Selling Tips. In today's episode, you'll learn about 5 tips on how to sell a house. My name is Andrew Finney. Please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. So let's go ahead and talk about these 5 tips on how to get your house sold. The first one is to understand who you're marketing to. With 43% of buyers are estimated to be millennials this next year in 2018. So that's up 3% from 2017. So understanding that almost half of the home buying population in the market right now are millennials, it's important to understand how to attract them as far as having your home renovations done, the home maintenance completed, and offering other features in your home, such as the ones that we'll be getting ready to go into in a moment. But we specifically want to be tailoring your marketing towards the millennial crowd because they do comprise the largest demographic of first-time home buyers out of all the home buyers that are in the market right now. Tip number 2 is not to forget about your baby boomers. Baby boomers are really interesting. Right now, or at least in 2016, so a couple of years ago or so, it was estimated that the population of Americans that were 65 years or older was about 46 million, and it's looking to increase obviously each year that goes by. So it's important to understand what baby boomers are looking at too, and that's why whenever you take a look at new home construction, you're starting to see multi-gen type new home construction going up where they can accommodate both a first-time home buyer, extended families living together, especially with the baby boomer generation. So if you see a 2-story property, for instance, this isn't a case whenever you might see a whole suite off to one wing of the house on the lower floor that has its own kitchenette, its own full-size bathroom, its own full-size closet, and its own bedroom, plus a small living area. Now that's what's called next-gen or multi-generational. Some people loosely call them a casita, even though it's not detached from the property. They call it that because it's aside from the property that's meant to be its own wing with its own entrance in and out so they can continue living their lives independently. The reason that this is significant and that I bring it up is because as baby boomers are aging and as they're getting older, over 90% of them are saying they would like to stay in the home that they're living in. So it's very important to understand what they're looking for. Obviously, first floor accommodations, if it's a 2-story property or if it's a ranch style, hey, game on, it's good stuff. The baby boomers are looking to minimize their risk of falls and also have a more convenient lifestyle in case any kind of impairments come up. So wider hallways, different things like that you're starting to see in new home construction and in some of the older homes are going to be quite popular. So when you're talking about selling a house, market to the millennials, don't forget about the baby boomers. Tip number 3 is going beyond a video footage and adding a drone footage perhaps to your property. Now you want to talk with your trusted real estate advisor where you live, and again, if you need help finding one, I'm happy to help. Drone footage for the right kind of property can be largely significant. Now whenever you've seen those kind of listings out there where they have video tours and you see the inside and you're maybe wondering, well, how did they get those shots whenever you see it just panning across like that and they look so beautiful? It's normally a drone. It's an interior drone taking photos, and you have a photographer that has an FAA license to be able to legally fly that drone that goes through and gradually, slowly takes photos of the interior, so it makes it feel like you're walking through very smoothly and looking at the home, and it gives you different perspective on the house. Now obviously that comes at a higher marketing expense, so that goes back to making sure that you have the right trusted real estate advisor helping you with the appropriate level of commission that you to negotiate as far as what it takes to market your property. So that's another tip. Now if you're behind the curve and you aren't having professional photography done on your house, you are behind the curve, and that's probably not your fault. It's going to come down to the listing agent you're working with. I know, for instance, on my team, every listing that we take, it's a minimum of 35 professional high-definition photography photos that we get on each and every one of our listings so that home buyers in the market can look at the property and get a very good indication of what it looks like before they get there. The idea behind professional photography is to ensure that you're putting out the best foot forward, keeping in mind that somebody buying a home is kind of like playing Match.com. You have this hot commodity here, they have the money that you want to sell your home. Bringing the two together is a match. So the more people that you can appeal to with your property and the more people that you can get into your property, the higher your likelihood of selling your property and getting a good price for it. Please don't ever misunderstand the market conditions either. If it's a seller's market, yes, it's going to be leaning in your favor. If it's a normalized market, then you're going to have to do a little bit more. And if it's a buyer's market, well, then they're going to be driving the market as well. But even in a seller's market, If your house is not up to snuff, it's not clean, it's not decluttered, it doesn't have professional photography, it's not looking great, or it smells or anything like that, guess what? Your home is probably not going to sell. It's not going to appeal to one of the two main categories of the home buying population that we talked about earlier in this video, specifically the millennials. A lot of them have student loan debts. A lot of them have a lot of different things in life that maybe you or I didn't have the contend with growing up, and also with buying their first home. So it's important to understand what they're looking for. And again, turnkey move-in ready homes are those homes that are going to sell the best and get the best price possible. Tip number 4 here that we're looking at are smart home features. So if you're out there right now looking at new home construction and you're considering different options, consider some tech savvy options that go into your home, specifically those that may have USB ports in there or have an option for USB ports in certain locations for the home, kind of like a phone or smart device hotspot, and also those that have higher grade cables running through the house for high-speed internet, and also any that can mitigate as much as possible any kind of dead zones in the house for the Wi-Fi. Everybody's on a smart device these days, in this room, that room, here, there, and everywhere. So the more friendly your smart home can be, or smarter that your home can be, the better it's going to be, all the way down to the security systems that you install as well that'll be staying with the property. Something to consider, something to think about whenever you're getting ready to put your home on the market. Now, tip number 5. We just made a video about this, and it's going to come up again now. Consider getting a pre-inspection before you list your home. And the reason this is significant is because it's going to happen one way or the other. So shouldn't you go ahead and get the pre-inspection done up front so you know what to expect from the home inspection, and go ahead and address those items now? Because it's going to cost you a lot less to make the repairs or do the maintenance that the home inspector brings up before you go under contract, after you go on the market, and then a buyer might get that report, and a savvy buyer agent may be negotiating vigorously for their buyers they're likely to do, and either you're going to be getting hemmed up on all those repairs and everything else, or you're going to be getting presented with a price reduction depending on what was in that home inspection report, both of which may be greater than if you just had taken a few extra steps and went ahead and got the pre-home inspection. Doing that can save you a lot of time. It can help you increase the transparency to your home by providing it to prospective buyers in a home selling portfolio, which is always a great idea. Now, your trusted real estate advisor ought to know just how to put together a home portfolio for you, and for your part it would be consisting of getting all your utility bills together, and so that your listing agent can put that in the binder together along with the home pre-inspection, along with the most recent comparables in and around the area. And in doing so, buyers are going to feel very good about going into your home because you've already decluttered it, you've neutralized it, you've depersonalized the property, and you've had the home in mint condition, ready to go, so that your home can sell and you can move on and get one step closer to where you're going next. Now, if you have any questions about this video, I'm going to put my contact information up. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about it, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello. I always love to hear from you. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. Now, before we end today's video, I'd like to ask you which one of these 5 tips was the most impactful and insightful for you. Was it the fact that millennials are comprising a larger and larger amount of the first-time homebuyers in the market? Or was it tip number 4 when we were talking about smart home features that can help your home sell? Tell us about it and share any other tips that you have about how to sell a house in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching today. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you.